as long as we get all his grades turned in by tomorrow, he'll be eligible to play on Sunday.
How much will he help in terms of another body out there?
I've got another body. Anybody's help. That's number one. He's got an energetic body. He brings you some energy out there around that bike line too. It's a plus having him. I'm glad to have him and not have him. There'll be a huge learning curve in that game speed and all that with him, but he brings energy. He brings some toughness, so that's a plus for us.
That's something you guys need right now: energy and toughness.
Keep going. Is it just only two things that you energy, toughness? Keep going. You keep adding to it. That's a start. Those are two things he can help give us back there and give us a little depth, give us some opportunity to rest some different people at different times. And a guy who I think, he does. I think one of his greatest assets is he can offensive rebound. He goes to the offensive boards. Offensively, he's challenged as far as the way he scores. It's hard. Not going to get a lot done out of the paint, but he's a guy, can go get you offensive rebound, a put back, a tip in. I think he'll get better defensively as we go on with things. But no question, just having his body out there will be a plus for us.
We really help you guys kind of rest.
Well, we went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Used Wednesday kind of as a game day, scrimmaged. Was off yesterday because we play Sunday, so it's been good. You got to mix it in around finals too, and one day you got to practice at 10 o'clock in the morning, get around finals, but it's still been good. It's been good standpoint. At least we was able to practice a few days. We got a couple more practices yet again before we play on Sunday, so that's a plus.
Playing in the Indiana State team, but obviously pretty good a few nights ago. Pretty big challenge coming up on Sunday.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Pretty good challenge, good opportunity for us. Won't be easy. They've come off two great wins. Went to Utah State, down to 16, came back and won at Utah State. If you haven't been to Utah State before, it's not an easy place to win at. Then I guess it was Wednesday night, beat number 12 Butler, whatever it was, at Indiana State. They're a good team. They got one of the best guards in the country, and got a forward guy who can really shoot it. If you guys saw that game, they're a good team. They shoot it, and they got a lot of toughness. It'd be a challenge for us.
Do you still think all these road games will help in the long run?
Well, that's the way we got to look at it. Well, the way you look at it, we're trying to find a silver lining. We can say how bad they all are, but are you asking me, would I rather not have them all? I would have told you absolutely rather not have them all. But again, it's just what it is. 8 or 9 on the road when you're trying to just find your own team some. And it's not easy to find yourself on the road. And I don't care where you go at nowadays on the road. It's not easy. It's not easy to win on the road. So we're off again, like you said, to Indiana State. St. Mary's, I think got up to 12th in the country, 13th in the country, and dropped one last night at home. So I'm sure they'll be in a nice mood for us Wednesday. Then you go to Detroit. So that will finish at 8 out of 9 in a row up come next Saturday. So we're glad to get that behind us. But, we got to keep taking them one at a time. We got to keep things in perspective. I'm staying positive with the guys, in every way we can. It's a challenge. And we got to keep just finding ways to hide some things we don't do very well. Keep finding some niches that maybe gives us a spurt of energy, or something that helps us shoot that basketball better too. Through this streak, we've talked about our ability to defend. We just hadn't shot the ball great. At Missouri, it's a one possession game, and we go my two best shooters go 2 for 10 from the 3-point line. Cake and Q. I get 1 for 5 each. And that's a delicate thing. Either good shooters taking bad shots, or you're just not a good shooter. Well, I think we can shoot the ball. I think for the most part, they've taken okay shots. And shooting's a delicate thing. When you're a shooter, it's hard to talk about, it can't be a good shot when they make it and a bad shot when they miss it. That's the fine line as a coach. And as long as you think they're taking good shots, then you got to live with some of those shots they take. We've had, no question, it wasn't a problem at Missouri. We didn't have those quick shots that were bad shots at Missouri. We've had those in the past now. When those teams go on rolls, we've had those quick shots that just leads to, it's like a turnover, leads to a transition basket or gives that ball back to that good offensive team. That wasn't the case at Missouri. We had good shots. We had, we had opportunities to win the game. And we got 2 opportunities to throw the ball to the post under a minute to go. Both times, and turn it over once and don't throw it the other time. And Kate gets a good shot at the buzzer to have a chance to win it. So there were some positive things. We played small in that game probably, 50% of the time. Thought that helped us some. We got to continue to do that. At the same time, we got to be able to, play big and get the numbers we have on the bench now back in there some.
Rick,
I like your shirt, but my son has a shirt just like that, but it says "Big Red for President." You don't have one of those?
I do not.
Okay.
I need to get one. Rick, I asked some patience on this question. I might go a couple different directions, but
Go ahead.
You mentioned, that you see improvements, and you mentioned patience. It's important for you to have patience. At the same time, even though I'm covering you for the first season, everyone I talk to about you, says you're as competitive as they come. Is that a challenge to balance your competitive fuel and patience, especially this season?
You know the answer to that already. You wouldn't have asked it.
You're right, sir.
It's really hard. I'm probably not real patient. I know I'm not real patient. Are you asking me, do I like taking losses? I hate it. No one hates it more than I do. It don't sit well with me. I don't sleep well. But at the same time, probably because this is not my first go-around. I understand some things. I've learned to become maybe a little bit more patient through the years, or a little bit more understanding through the years. A little bit more accepting is not the right word, but just not as quick to react. These guys, here's what I know. Players hate losing as much as anybody too. They don't enjoy it. They don't throw the ball away on purpose. They don't miss shots on purpose. They're trying to win. There's maybe a different level of competitiveness that as a coach you want your team to have. Do you feel like, and you've heard me say this many times, we need more gunpowder in our crawl. Do we dig in when it gets tough? Those are things we haven't done near as well as we like, and especially as a coach. But to answer your question, I've learned to become more patient through the years, even though I'm very impatient. I do understand the situation. I do understand what we're trying to do with our pieces and parts we're trying to put together, and still trying to get them figure out or hide some things some guys don't do as well to make this thing work in jail. And again, I'm a guy, I'd rather get things done with sugar than with vinegar if I could. There's plenty of vinegar in me. But sometimes when things are not going as well as you want, vinegar's not always the best thing to use. Sometimes it's better with sugar. And again, that's just understanding your team and knowing the personalities of your team and what you're dealing with a little bit. And they're all different. All teams' personalities are different. And that's a challenge as a coach to figure that out some. But to answer your question, I'm not a very, very patient person at all. Got another one? Go ahead.
Sure.
I'm not very patient now, so go ahead.
Rick, is this a stretch especially where, even though they're new to the program this year, Kate, Q, and Junior, have a lot of experience, and you can lean on them, for lack of a better phrase, kind of as sergeants for the rest of the team?
Well, I'm gonna keep saying this, and I don't know what everybody's. I don't ever read the articles you guys write. Trust me, I don't. I don't. I know I heard y'all all good writers, man. But hey, I'll take somebody's word for that. So, but you know, huh? Well, that's why I have Zach on my side, so I didn't have to read his stuff. I know where he's from. I was concerned he couldn't write, know where he's from. But know this first off. I'm glad we have all three of those fifth-year guys, okay? Y'all have heard me say this many times. They're good people. That's number one. I'm good with that. There's some things about all of them we all understand is probably not, you know, it's been a challenge. You know, my challenge is those guys, you know, defensively, you know, to really, you know, do some things where we like to do some things defensively. That's been a challenge. But at the same time, I do know this, and this is where my patience come in a little bit. If I didn't have any of them, because they have experience, and there's no substitute for experience, where would we be? So I'm finding that silver lining with those guys. It's not perfect. Hopefully they continue to get better. But while you're dealing with guys going through some challenges, and know this, it's a challenge for them. I mean, these guys all been on their other teams for 3 or 4 years, and they're coming in, you know, trying to fit in and do some things and figure it all out a little bit too. And and like we know with Q or Junior, just trying to play the point guard spot, and that's a, you know, that's a challenge in itself. A guy who's never done it. So, but I'm glad I've got them, and they're good people, and they'll continue to get better for us.